Dr. DeCubellis here. Really interesting study I just got done reading and wanted to kind of go over this with you because I think it's really, really important. And what this has to do with is car bumpers. I know, not something you normally think about with car bumpers, but car bumpers are really, really interesting because when it comes to car bumpers, they're supposed to be rated for a certain mile per hour to where after that certain amount of impact, they're going to degrade. They're going to have damage to them. And they're supposed to be 5 miles per hour. So anything under 5 miles an hour, they're not going to get damaged. Anything above 5 miles per hour, they're going to be damaged. However, when you look at the bumpers that have been studied most recently, we're finding that actually these bumpers are holding up closer to 9 or 10 miles per hour. I know what you're thinking to yourself, well, that doesn't make 9 to 10 miles an hour versus 5 is not that big of a deal. But it is, because what happens is that when that bumper actually degrades, it's taking more force with it. When it doesn't get damaged or degrade, it means that force has to be passed into someone else, and that ends up being you, the passenger. So now you are taking on more brunt. Did you know that you are more likely to be injured in a low-speed collision than in a collision where there's major damage to the car? Because cars have what's called crumple zones, and those crumple zones are designed to take that impact and stretch it over a period of time. This way, there's less impact going to you. So when there's less damage to the car, all of that energy has to travel somewhere, and it travels into, you guessed it, you. Now when we start throwing things in like seat belts, headrests that aren't positioned the right way, airbags being deployed, this is why we can get some major injuries off of something that was very low speed because of all of these factors, and it all comes down to physics. But it's really interesting. It kind of can all be starting with bumpers. Supposed to degrade at 5 miles per hour, but they're actually doing more and making it all the way up to 10.